Hello, collective. Welcome back to my channel. This is Divine Eye Mystic. This is a general reading. This is an all signs read. I did post this reading last night. I deleted it because I wanted to finish it. My phone was having some issues charging for some reason, so I had to get another cord. So right now, I'm just gonna go back over where I left off. And finish up with the other signs. So I do apologize, you guys. We started with Gemini, ended with, I want to say Virgo when I got into Virgo's part, cards that came out. So I, kind of go back over what I have out because I still kept the spread out, but I will show you the spread when I get done with the cards, okay? Um, for Gemini, we got bartender, interstate bound. Should have told you the truth, but they in my pride. All right. So you got the Three of Wands that came out and the Ace of Swords. So it's someone that wants to come in. They want to demonstrate. Because I did hear like a police pull someone over last night when I was doing this reading. So this person could get stopped on the interstate, um, possibly for speeding. Okay, but that police siren and pulling someone over could be significant. All right, bartender can be significant as well. But someone wants to come in, they want to demonstrate, the lessons they learned, some of the things that they know with the Ace of Swords, that they've gotten some clarity, you've gotten some clarity on. They're able to and willing now to make a sound decision. You got the Seven of Wands that came out in reverse and the Seven of Pentacles. 77 can be significant. Someone could be born in 77, could be seeing 777. Um, but this is, they don't know if they want to, they may have in the past wanted to come towards you, um, take some action, on that. They didn't know if they should hold on, um, come towards you or just back off. You know what I'm saying? Or just hold on, give something some time, um, and just back off. Either one. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, hold off, coming towards you, or just give something some more time. Or should they just walk away from it, leave it alone? You know what I'm saying? Fight for it. They didn't know. You know what I'm saying? But with the Seven of Pentacles, it's, them focusing on them, paying attention to what they're doing, looking more into themselves, looking more at themselves, or they see you focusing, on what you're doing, work. But it's also this person knowing they have not put in all, their full potential in something. So you could be focusing on work or what you're doing right now, and that may be something they feel like, they don't want to, come in and burden you, or come in and feel like, they being a burden, or they distracting you in some way, from what you're doing. Like they may see what you're doing, they may know where you work, they may know what you do for work. But it's a thing of them thinking, about their action when it comes to coming towards you, or what it is that they need to do for themselves. All right, when it comes to them focusing, putting in the work, they may be working on themselves right now. They may have just, gotten into self-healing, focusing more on what they, are starting to see about themselves or this situation, or the truth that they need to, um, come to you and give you this clarity, this justice. All right. But it's also them, looking at you from a standpoint of, you focusing on what you're doing. You really may not even be, working at your full potential. You may be focusing more on your work and putting your, your efforts into what you feel like you care about the most. And this may be something they feel like, why they haven't came forward so far. All right. They may just be looking at, they don't want to be a distraction, or they don't want to come in. They don't know. You know what I'm saying? But you got the world out here also. But they want to close this cycle. They do see you as fulfillment. They do want to, make a necessary conscious effort, to move forward, to close out this chapter, to, kind of put the past behind you guys. Um, to overcome whatever it is that they feel like, may have gotten in the way with the world. So they may be, you may live at a distance, you may be into travel. But this world, it talks about travel. You know what I'm saying? So this person could be coming from a distance. They may have to, accept, whatever it is you do for it. Maybe you work, maybe they travel for work. With the Seven of Pentacles out here. In the world, like they could travel for work. They may not be local to you. They may, live at a distance. They may live in the same state. They may not. So take it how it resonates. But they, want to come towards you. They want to close out this, that chapter of whatever it was, that they needed to tell you that kept them, at a distance, either emotionally or physically or both. All right. Something may have, needed to be said that they never did. Maybe they held off, wanted to, couldn't decide whether they should, when was a good time to come forward, or should they just back off and leave it, the way it is, because they see that you, focusing, what I'm saying, on what it is you're working on. Like I said, they could be watching you. They could know, like I said, what you do for work. They could know, you may travel for work. They may travel for work, or they looking at whatever it is you're focusing on being more important. But it's just the fact that you may be putting more effort into what you're doing now than to, be focused on what this person got going on. But they want to come towards you. All right. With the world, they overall outcome. Taurus, you got people pleasing. There's somebody trauma dumping on you, but not doing no work on it. All right, you got the Ten of Swords that came out in reverse with the Hierophant. So someone wants to, they don't want to, how you say it? They don't want this cycle to close. Like somebody is doing all they can to keep from making a choice that they know is going to happen, whatever they trying to keep from happening, by saying something or admitting to something. It's like whatever they know is going to happen, it's like they prolonging it, procrastinating, you know what I'm saying, like doing and saying what they can to keep this cycle open, or keep from, actually going through the motions of what the ending may be, or what something may turn out to be. It's like, man, I know if I say this person they're gonna be done with that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like if I go in there and just tell them this, tell them that, or if I tell them this, tell them that, that'll buy me some more time. And I feel like that's why someone may have said, the bare minimum. You know what I'm saying? Just to, be able to buy them some more time. Because someone did not want to grow up. They didn't want, somebody was very mature at the time. And I feel like, when it comes to somebody telling you where their issues are in their life, or where it stems from, the root of the problem, but they're not telling you like, hey, I addressed that person, I addressed that situation, that group of people. I had to set some things straight, with them, said what I needed to say. They had their words, I had mine. They brought up some things. Maybe they don't want people they around to bring up their past. Another siren child. Confirmation. But yeah, this person, they wanted to say what they could, to keep this, from being an ending. Like keep, you from walking away, keep you from Ten of Swords and, something in the past. So they may have said things, or they may come in and want to say something, or was thinking about doing that. They could be wanting to come in and tell you, and they could have got with someone trauma bonding. You know what I'm saying? But it's a clear cycle, that it needs to be closed. But if they were saying something just to keep the cycle open, keep you around, keep you open to them. You know what I'm saying? But with the Hierophant, it's like, they need to get their own beliefs. You know what I'm saying? And stop listening to outside influences. You know what I'm saying? Like people giving them bad advice, possibly on purpose, or just giving them advice because they all, kind of on the same level. They all support each other bullshit. They all got some type of, you know, scoop on each other. They may done did some dirt with each other, or they done, did and got into some shit together. They know some, some shady stuff about each other and shit like that. So they kind of may be holding some secrets. But it's like somebody living up to what other people think of them, or how other people, they want these other people in this group to see them. Because you got people pleaser out here for Taurus. All right, but it's like, it's a group of people, Taurus, that somebody, possibly a Gemini, low vibrational at that. But I feel like somebody was, in their south node at the time. So this may be something that may have already occurred. Something you may have already, made some decisions about regarding whoever this person is that comes to mind. So take it how it resonates. But it's a group of people that, you got to get out of your own way and be a leader in your own life. You can't just be a follower and not get the, the experiences without the lesson. You can't get one without the other. But I feel like this person, has leaned on what other people say, with the people pleaser out here. And it's time this person needs to, think for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Instead of thinking about what David and what Earl and what Tammy might say if they change up on them, if they decide they don't want to do this. I don't want to be like this. I don't want to be a player no more. Okay, man or woman. I don't want to be, someone, that I was in high school, or how, somebody sees another person from growing up. Like, man, you always been like this. You always been a player. You always, been slacking at work. You ain't never just stayed all day, nowhere. Like, you ain't never just stayed, very long with anybody, anything. You always cut out, and did real fast. Like, you don't never stick around in shit very long. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to break that cycle. But I feel like with this Hierophant, like, this person listen to outside people. They do. They do, Taurus. But I feel like, at the end of the day, they're gonna, even if this is you or someone, in your energy, connected to someone, that you may have walked away from, or somebody that you may have realized you need to close a cycle with, or realizing that you had, something unspoken that needed to be spoken, that needed to be said, that needed to be done, that nobody was doing, or this other person, somebody wasn't doing something. They just said enough to like keep something okay, so they can still come around, still, be in your face. You know what I'm saying? Because these are somehow, some of these people they hang with or converse with or kick it with, this is how they move in this group. Okay, could be a friend group, could be a, some family, could be, people that they socialize with, because they're part of some organization. But it's like everybody, kind of supports each other's views. And they give, advice here and there, in these people's lives. And it's like they making decisions based off what they think these people might say. Like, I don't want to go against the grain doing this, and they all don't support me on this, or they, turn on me. That kind of thing. Then you got the moon out here. And this is just about, Pisces energy is out here. You got the Hierophant in Taurus. So this could be somebody that's, a friend to you or something like that, a close friend. It could be somebody at your church. It could be someone, that's, part of a business that you have. Or they, could be some associates. You may not call them friends. They may just be people you socialize with, or somebody around you. They may be part of this, friend group with you. Don't have to be. So take it how it resonates. Somebody could be, involved in outside influences that, kind of, need to be in the background instead of at the forefront. But with the moon, like I said, someone is, wanting to make somebody think that there's some type of calculated risk. There's a secret somewhere that something is meant to make something confusing when it comes to making a decision. It's meant to make this person confused, like keeping them in their head about what the truth is or what they want them to believe, about their intuition, like making them question it, making them feel as though, man, there's something going on with that person. Like if I was you, I'd do this, do that, blah, blah, blah. It's like, but you got to think for yourself. You know what I'm saying? What does your gut tell you? Regardless of what somebody in your ear is saying, if you know going toward that person or not saying something that's going, like, man, I know it's been a long time. I know if I don't say nothing, if I don't go on to tell this person this or that, it's going to be this or that. Man, fuck all that, such and such and such. But then the minute you don't and something happen similar to that, you know what I'm saying? Maybe you cut somebody off and they got that gut feeling like, damn, I shouldn't have, said that. I shouldn't have, I can't go over there and do that. And that person, going to feel like, I'm just talking. You know what I'm saying? Like, that ain't nothing. And then you got the devil in reverse and the judgment in reverse. And this person know they got some things they need to walk away from. And, they know there's some toxic traits. There's some, issues that they know they got to address and they got to let go of. Capricorn energy. But it's about them with the judgment in reverse growing up. Like they know it's just being petty. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just allowing something, to fester when it don't have to be. It's like self-sabotaging with this devil in reverse. It's like, that you need to make some changes, but it's like somebody telling you ain't nothing wrong with this shit, like, because they support it. And it's like if I do it, man, Tammy, David, Earl, and, the rest of them, they're going to be talking shit about me the minute I go over here and try to, keep my nose clean with the collective. You know what I'm saying? Like, try to do right, you know what I'm saying? And knowing that, it's only fair. You know what I'm saying? Like, but there's somebody that don't want to. If you feel trapped or stuck in a situation, it's only because you refuse to accept that the changes you need to make is necessary. They necessary. Whether it's in love, whether it's in friendships. But it's like if this person feel like, they don't have no control over the situation, or they let something get out of control and they thought they could control it. They thought, man, that's just them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know, how to handle them if I do this or do that. Like, that's what somebody thought. I feel like, somebody coming towards you, like wanting to reveal something or say, whatever it is that they problem stem from. I let some people, cloud my judgment, whatever. You know what I'm saying? They may feel as though, you just going to look at it like this person still on that shit. You know what I'm saying? What the devil in reverse? Because it's like, if they, your own attitude and beliefs, you know what I'm saying, is what's causing the problem. And if this person, feel as though they coming towards you and they know somebody telling them, it's something else to it, or, keep being like this, or don't trust, this or that. It's like somebody questioning their intuition. They want them to. Pisces, like somebody wants a Pisces to question their intuition. Or somebody have Pisces in their chart. But they want this person to look at like something hidden, like, come towards a situation like. So it's like taking a risk. You know what I'm saying? But it's like somebody, using this person mentally, you know what I'm saying, to confuse them in that way, to, make them not or they wanting them to say things, that kind of, make things confusing, so it can buy them some more time. But like I said, if they feel like, they stuck, their hands is tied in a situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, I done helped these people. I done said shit. I done went along with what they said. If I go back and try to undo this shit now, and try to support and take up and defend myself, opposite of what I done said, it just reveals the fact that I should have just did this shit in the first place. It's like backpedaling. It's like somebody realizing, I allowed something, to make me feel a certain way, or to, address it a certain way because everybody else supported me in doing that. But then deep down, if I don't do it and I look at it and do something different, then all these same people gonna team up. You know what I'm saying? And, so I got to stick to what I said. You know what I'm saying? I got to stick to the energy I was in, because I know if I switch up, it's going to be this, it's going to be that. What's the overall outcome for Taurus? What's the future actions on this for Taurus in this situation? It's too many, child. What's the overall outcome for Taurus in this situation? Future actions. What's the future actions of this person for Taurus? Messages for Taurus. What's this person's future actions? Got the Eight of Wands at the bottom of the deck. But the Five of Swords came out. Came out in reverse. Whoever this is, their future actions could be, that they want to, say something. They want to come in and make something right, but it's like they are confused about, are they being naive, or like somebody playing confused about why the situation even occurred. It's like somebody coming in saying or thinking, before, if they come in and, like, I didn't know this, and that, was going to turn out that way. If I'd have known, this, me saying this or me not saying something, before, I would have said something. If I'd have known, not doing this was going to result in this, I would have did something, said something, you know what I'm saying, moved this, or, brought that up, you know what I'm saying, addressed that. But I feel like when it comes to them feeling hurt, they feel betrayed, you know what I'm saying? It's like playing victim. They just angry about how, whatever, misery that they in right now from listening to outside people. Like, it's about them actually reflecting on the fact that why this shit happened. You know what I'm saying? Why Taurus is the way it is. They are with you. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But at the end of the day, it's about this person, taking some accountability, and deep down, this person know why they feeling the way they feeling about this situation. Like, they know why they feeling like, I was immature. Like, if they try to come off like they, was making good decisions at the time, they realizing with this judgment in reverse, like, they realizing emotionally they needed to grow up. Like, this is somebody that, wasn't in check with their own, emotions. Like, they allow people to manipulate how they see things, how they feel. It's like somebody telling you what to feel and acting, telling you how to act on somebody else's feelings. Like, that person, they full of shit. do this and say that. You know what I'm saying? And then you do it, but you don't have the best feeling about it. You don't have the best feeling about it. And you deep down know, like, they got every right to feel the way they felt, or they got every right to look at it the way they looking at it. Because if it was you and you dealing with these people, you would have felt that way too. Like, you felt some type of way. Like, you know what I'm saying? Somebody felt some bullshit going on, brewing and all that, but they kept something going. It's like somebody, sitting on their hands because they don't want people to see them, you know what I'm saying, flipping them off. Because it's like, damn. But they want to take some, take some swift action, some rapid change with this Queen of Cups. Possibly, with the Fool, take a leap of faith, start anew. Whether it's, them coming towards you or just, choosing, to walk away from this group of people, and listening, to outside people. This could be friends, could be family members, could be a lot of people, mixed into this, group of folks that may have had, some say in how this person, took action, when it came to them actually coming face to face with whatever it is that may have caused a Ten of Swords, or them trying to keep a Ten of Swords from happening, trying to keep a cycle open. So this past person, could have been hard to, close things out with because they kept giving you, something that they've been going through, or mentioning things, from past people. You know how folks will say something about a past relationship to you to make sure that you, try to cover them bases of not doing that. Whatever they feel like their issues was in that past connection or that past job, like, well, yeah, I ain't gonna do that then. I ain't gonna, this person, all they want to do is argue. So now they want you to hold, now you saying, oh, well, shit, I ain't gonna argue much then. I'm gonna be real quiet. I'm gonna, try not to say much. I'm gonna try not to bring up too much of nothing, even though I know this is an issue. Like, I know this, if I don't address this, it's gonna get worse. But you're thinking about this person, these people got this person thinking or acting as if you do that. Like, they're going to say less. You know what I'm saying? They're going to say a little bit, bring up something about somebody in their past doing that, just to, kind of make you back off from that. And it's like somebody realizing, they doing it because they know if they allow you, if they address it, you just going to walk away. And they wanted to keep that from happening. I feel like somebody felt that happening. They felt it coming. But they kept listening to somebody, thinking that it was some more to what they were doing. Like, it was a, instead of listening to their intuition, you know what I'm saying? Making them question, what they were thinking. If they wanted to do something different, like making them question their own thoughts. Like, man, don't listen to, listen to me. You think I'm going to tell you something wrong? But this person now, only they can pull themselves out of this situation. They know that. But they can't be naive about why they in the situation they in, why they feeling the way they feeling, why they feel, like there's no communication. You know what I'm saying? But deep down, they know the reason. They know why you're not talking to them. They want to take some action. Yeah, deep down they want to take some action. They could have Aquarius in their chart, or they could be, have some air placements in their chart. You could be dealing with an air sign, Taurus. But they letting whatever it is that they saying or thinking, or was thinking, like somebody may have been letting that be the reason they, kind of keep their distance and not, push it with communicating with you. Because deep down they know why, this communication is the way it is. Why they feeling like you don't want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because with the judgment out here in reverse, like, they're going to have to cope with this change, because of their actions. It's always, that mindset of, be mindful of the decisions you make. Because if you make them, they only need to sit well and align with, how you feel about the consequences of your actions, whether they're good or bad. You know what I'm saying? For you. But any choice you make comes with a set of consequences. Depends on what you can live with. But let's move on to Virgo. Virgo, you got somebody saying, nah. And something could have been going on for 2 years now. Martin can be significant. Teresa can be significant. You got doesn't look the same since the diagnosis. And this diagnosis can be, something medical. It could be, somebody, having some type of heartbreak. Could be a heart issue or something like that. But that's what I'm getting. Letting go is so letting you go is so hard. It's the other card that came out. You got the Nine of Swords. The Eight of Swords that came out in reverse. Gemini energy. Virgo. So it's like someone is, someone having to think their way out of a situation. You know what I'm saying? Or getting out of their own way. But it's like, whatever is wrong could get worse. Or whatever the situation was that this person may have, allowed to make them feel blocked, or, they feel, stuck or trapped in a situation, had their hands tied, or, whatever was said that may have, caused communication to be cut off. Like, something may have gotten worse with someone after that, since that situation. So if they feel blocked, from you, it's like somebody feel worse now. Something that was bad at the time got worse since, the last time you spoke to this person. All right. With the Eight of Swords in reverse. Because, like I said, it could be a Gemini. Then you got the Nine of Wands. Sagittarius energy. Clarifying them letting go. Like I said, like, this person, may have felt like they, could get past, things with you, but it didn't work out that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could say one thing and do something else, and your heart, starts to take over. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like, them wanting to, let go and just go on, that's something that, they may have to, still, they may be struggling with that, to build up the courage to, stay away. Yeah. But I feel like, with this determination, this courage that, they know they gotta have, in this situation. Like, I feel like that's not something that they possibly, is able to control right now. Like, they may want to, come back around you, or, take some type of action. But the situation they in, may have been going on for 2 years now. May have been going on for 2 years now, but that's where they, at with that. But I feel like, when it comes to them actually knowing what they want to do about a situation and didn't do it because they felt like, they were blocked, or you didn't want to talk to them, no contact or something like that, like I said. And I feel like, they may be in a situation where they can't, because I'm also getting, it's like someone preparing for emergencies, purposes. Somebody coming back around, they could feel like, what they got diagnosed with could, be a burden on you, or is a burden on them. It's something that they, was not expecting to have to be dealing with, along with letting you go as well. And what they found out, or what, may have came up, may have been something they felt like, made them stay away. Like they could have, contracted something that they don't want to expose you to, or they don't want to have to explain to you how they got this. They may be dealing with it from a distance, their own way or quietly, but it's also, something that they found out or was found out about may have gotten worse since they found out about it. You know what I'm saying? 2 years ago now. So if you haven't seen this person or talked to this person in the last 2 years, Virgo, yeah. Like they could, it's not for everybody, it could be for someone in particular. Like they want to come towards you, but they like, nah, like they may not feel like you're gonna receive them the same way. Like since they found out, what's going on with them, it may have changed their appearance some. May have picked up some weight. They may have lost a lot of weight. I'm hearing, but they may not be in the best, health right now, like emotionally, physically. So them trying to have that courage and confidence, to maybe take some action eventually, when it comes to, wanting, trying hard to let you go, but it's hard. It's hard, especially when they know that you got a lot of, courage and strong will. Like they see you, as a very strong person, but they also don't know how things will go if you saw them. Because I'm getting they want to see you, but they don't want you to see them like this. Because whatever, like I said, with the Eight of Swords in reverse, like whatever's going on with them, it got worse. And that's why, it's, whatever it is, it's keeping them at a distance from you. So if they were feeling blocked and, feeling some type of way that you had them blocked, they couldn't talk, like they feel even worse. Like things done got even worse now. And you could also, Virgo, like be allowed, trying to avoid, any drama, that may be coming with someone, that you haven't, you know, had any contact with in the last 2 years. Clarify the Eight of Swords in reverse. What's the Eight of Swords in reverse? Messages for Virgo. What's the Eight of Swords in reverse? Eight of Swords in reverse. Messages for Virgo. Eight of Swords in reverse. Clarify the Eight of Swords in reverse. Messages for Virgo. Page of Wands. Aries. I had a feeling it was something of a social nature. King of Wands. feel like somebody, you know, some lot of ones out here, child. I don't know if this person, you know, got involved, you know, with I'm gonna tell you what I'm getting. So this may not be for everybody, maybe for someone in particular, Virgo. For someone may have been dealing with somebody that's, you know, very adventurous, promiscuous even, or just paid the wrong. You got the King of Wands at the bottom of the deck. But I feel like, you know, someone had to either was dealing with someone else that, you know, may have been doing, you know, things that may have caused a lot of conflict, competition, arguments, fights, you know, because whoever this King of Wands is, like, it's, you know, battling with a lot of conflict now with this Five of Wands. And it's like somebody either dealing with someone that, you know, they had multiple partners. You know what I'm saying? With this Five of Wands. And because somebody was so adventurous and, you know, sociable, you know, and had a lot of ideas, you know, being creative, you know, getting out here doing, you know, what they doing and shit like that, you know, exploring. But I feel like, you know, it's an issue, you know, when you dealing with somebody else that, you know, may have good status. Well, you know what I'm saying? That, you know, uses that to move around, you know what I'm saying, to get the attention they get. And people, you know, like, you know, they got a little money. So a lot of people gonna wanna, you know what I'm saying, get involved and see what they, you know, what they working with, what it's like. But I feel like, you know, at the same time, it's a lot of knowledge, common sense with somebody now. You know what I'm saying? That may have came into the, you know, pictures, like somebody, you know, realizing like where something started or what's going on, you know, in a situation. Because even if this person was dealing with, you know, someone that was promiscuous, you know, whether it was a woman or a man, you know what I'm saying, or the same sex, either way. Like somebody still, you know, this King of Wands, somebody knows, you know, their way around situations, but they also a big influence. You know what I'm saying? Very influential. So when it comes to people, you know, they want to be around them. You know, this is somebody independent as well, very independent. But they, you know, do what they can to help other people out. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to give to those they care about. But you can give to a fault. And when you give so much of yourself, you know, to people, you need to make sure it's reciprocated. You know what I'm saying? If somebody's going to be straight up and down with you, then be straight up and down with them. But because I feel like whatever this person, you know, was not seeing is gonna, you know, reveal itself, you know, when it comes to these conflicts and fights. I feel like, you know, something is gonna come out about something that this person need to know, Virgo. Um Because I feel like a King of Wands is going to come forward. You know, somebody going to come towards you, Virgo, whether it's a man or woman. Like, somebody going to come forward, like, with some help. You know what I'm saying? They're going to step in and bring some type of good news. Like, when it comes to advice or, you know, a hint of, because it is what it is. Like, you know, this page of wands, like, it ain't no, whatever somebody got going on. Like, if you see this person, um, this King of Wands, like, if you see them and they, you know, like, they very nice and they mingling with people, you know, and it look like, you know, they one of them, a natural born, like, ladies man. You know what I'm saying? If you see they, you know, like to talk about their wealth, they like to talk about what they drive, they like to, you know, tell you where they been, where I shop at, you know what I'm saying? The company I keep, you know, the people the women I mess around with, you know, what they status is, you know, what they job description is, you know what I'm saying? How they living. It ain't no hint of deception, like, of what this person is or how they move. You know what I'm saying? Like, you, if you see them dressing nice, they smelling good, majority of the time, if anybody really knows this person, they'll be able to say, well, yeah, they always like that. You know what I'm saying? They live over here. They work over here. You know what I'm saying? Like, this person gonna look like what they talk like. You know what I'm saying? They gonna drive like what they talk like. But with this page of wands, it's like somebody, you know, actually, you know, they may travel. You know, they could be somebody that, you know, travels for work. They, you know, may be um, mixed race. Like, somebody, you know, has a split culture. You know what I'm saying? So it may have that reason, you know, for being, you know, kind of, you know, a little bit bilingual is what I'm saying. But I feel like somebody, you know, done had to, that just could be significant, okay? But it's like somebody realizing now, like, how they need to pay more attention to who and what they, you know, lay down with and what direction, you know, they going with that. Because I feel like somebody done, you know, step too far into something that they basically, you know, really now can't come back from, you know, without talking about it. And it's causing a lot of conflict, whether it's within or whether this is what, you know, people that's involved. Because whatever it is, it's causing a lot of anxiety for someone. It's causing a lot of fights too. Like, somebody was in a lot of competition with other people. I'm also getting somebody like to compete with other people. They like being in that competition with other people. Whether it's at work, whether it's, you know, in social settings and shit like that, and something, you know, could have came out, you know, in this competition of people, you know, Like somebody could, be on the same team, um, like, they could hang out together. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like this is a competition between, somebody that likes to be in this. Because with this, like I said, with this King of Wands, like this is somebody that is like a trendsetter. Like they somebody that, people like to be around. They focus, they real driven, about what it is they do. If you see them, with a stethoscope around their neck, like believe it. You know what I'm saying? If you see them dressing like somebody important, they probably are. You know what I'm saying? Like it's no hint of if you see them wearing a lot of jewelry and rings and they looking like a, Mississippi pimp, then they probably is. You know what I'm saying? But just giving you an example, like with this King of Wands, like this is somebody that, they a lot of people follow. Where they lead, people follow. People like being around them. They good company, but they also, can, bring up, come with a lot of competition with others. There could be a lot of people that compete with them or for them with this Five of Wands. And in me saying that, like I said, this could be a man, with a whole bunch of other men, chasing behind them, gunning for them, trying to be with them. It could be women. Could be both. You know what I'm saying? But this Page of Wands came out. The King of Wands was just at the bottom of the deck. But I feel like, with this page, like somebody now is having to, dial it back because of, them being so adventurous and, giving and shit like that, and exploring their options. It's like, got to be mindful of, like I said, who you laying with, because not everybody is, playing, fairly. You know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't playing it safe. But they feel like somebody got a strong urge or pull towards you. And it's hard, for them to let go. Like they got a, strong attraction to you. And it could be a sexual attraction. All right. But yes, they may have a lot of other people that been in competition, for them, for you, Virgo. Yeah. But, they could be finding balance right now. You could be finding balance right now with this Two of Pentacles. Doesn't look the same since this diagnosis. Clarify. Messages for Virgo. Doesn't look the same since this diagnosis. It's this diagnosis. What's this diagnosis? What's this diagnosis? Messages for Virgo? Doesn't look the same since this diagnosis. Clarify, doesn't look the same since this diagnosis. Six of Cups. Scorpio energy. With the Four of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. So somebody either got something they dealing with, that is resulting like in a they want a reconciliation. Yeah, they could want, to apologize for something. Somebody wants to apologize. They could either want to apologize and reconcile with you. They could have returned back to the past. Like somebody could have went back to someone from their past. And they could have realized, going back to this person, may have cost them their health. It may have cost them, some issues, that they may have thought, had gotten better, or this person wasn't involved with more than one person like they said they were. Or if that was, something they thought this person, was involved with or got involved with in the first place, or they were dealing with somebody that may have had multiple partners in the past and they may have, walked away from that, or they may have told this person that they wasn't doing that anymore. And I feel like, somebody, put two and two together. But I feel like, at that point in time, that's when someone, realizes it now, like somebody has some skeletons in their closet with this Six of Cups. Like somebody could have had some things that, they were not, openly talking about, or they went back, to this person maybe because they, know this person may know their history. They may know about this, these skeletons, they got in their closet. They may have had too many skeletons in their closet. And they went back, to something from their past. They went back to somebody from their past or something from their past that, still had their emotions, or somebody that still had some type of, emotions for them, feelings for them, or them for this person. And it's like somebody realizing now, they regret they did this. Four of Pentacles. Like somebody, is holding back, now. Being, was being stubborn. They could have been, holding back from you and shit like that because of, the things that they know they got themselves into with this, backpedaling, like going back. They could be having some, nostalgia, about the memories they have with you and stuff like that, compared to this person. So it's like them knowing, like, if I would have stayed with the collective, I'd have stayed with Virgo, I wouldn't have been dealing with this situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, I knew they was, for me. They wasn't, I put them in competition with somebody that clearly was dealing with other people too, and me. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm getting. So take it how it resonates. But somebody went back to the past. Like, somebody went and revisited the past with a past person. Could have been a baby mom. They could have had kids with this person. But it's like they thinking that, there's something that got some potential. They give this person the benefit of the doubt, like thinking, but no. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like somebody realizing they could have stayed where they were, worked something out, or been straight up and down with somebody that was straight up and down with them instead of dealing with what they ended up dealing with. And ever since this person got this diagnosis, like I said in the beginning, like, it doesn't have to be a medical issue. But I feel like it may have been one when it comes to them having to make sure now, like, that they straight, because this person may have, had something that they did not know about, or this person didn't make it aware to them until after, the fact. Because I'm getting somebody either found something out, or someone, told this person, like, they know they used to, they was taking this. Like, it could be a family member, it could be, a doctor or something like that. Don't have to be, but it's like somebody revealing to somebody, like, hey, they take medication, like, that person such and such. Like they could be a family member or something like that, but it's like somebody addressing something. Like I don't know if somebody hides medication or they hide, some of the things that they. Mm-mm. Somebody having some past memories, they thinking back on, memories they've had with you, Virgo. Or somebody's, in that mindset, whether it's you or them. But it's like they also know that there's some things that they went back to. You know what I'm saying? And it could be old ways. It could be, that old version of themselves with somebody from their past. With the Six of Cups. It could be somebody they had kids. It could have been their baby mom, baby dad. It's like somebody go back around and mess with that person still. And it's like something came up and if somebody ended up catching something. For some of you, they did. And it's like now, somebody holding back, being stubborn about, like somebody could be, like holding back their energy from somebody, like not wanting to, get on with them anymore. They may not, want to, like somebody want to get to the truth. It's like, I don't want to, do this with you no more. That kind of thing. Like they could want to, go back and, deal with that person. But like after this diagnosis, like somebody, could want to, come towards you, but they, kind of looking like, or this, take a high risk in their child. Or somebody got some skeletons in their closet, they do. But I feel like that's some sort of apology or reconciliation somebody could want, with you. After finding out, somebody got some skeletons. Or they want to tell you about some of the skeletons they had in their closet. Because I feel like that, it came with the territory. Like if they went and, got involved with somebody from their past, it only, set them in motion of where they needed to be. Like something, ended up hitting the fan. Yeah. Two of Wands, like some unexpected situation, they was not thinking, when it came to them, wanting to get to this discovery, you know what I'm saying? Like finding out the truth. Especially if somebody, at one time, had a lot of, feelings or they was able to come back around you like that. You know what I'm saying? And you will, will welcome them with open arms, man or woman. Like somebody don't got that pool with you no more. They know they're not gonna have that pool with you no more. Like you may have seen this person as somebody very attractive, very handsome. They know you're not gonna see that when you see them now. And that's a possibility, they may, not have that standing with you anymore. You may not want to give to them like you used to, the Six of Pentacles. Because they broke your heart. They could look at you as somebody very spiritual, very, intuitive. Yeah. What's the overall outcome for this situation for Virgo? What's the overall outcome for this situation? What's the future actions in this situation? King of Cups in reverse, Pisces with the Two of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Cancer. Like somebody's ending something. They ending a relationship. Like somebody doesn't love somebody else or something like that. This love is ending. There's a love that's ending with someone. Like they maybe walking away from this past person or whoever this baby mother or somebody is, or mother figure. Somebody walking away from somebody. But the process of, them walking away from this person is not going to be that hard because they, kind of dealing with what they're dealing with now, and they got that, solid reason as to why they need to walk away. Like I said before, like some exposure had to happen. Some truth had to come out. Some things needed to be revealed in order for this person to know, like, they may have went back and forth, Virgo, you may have went back and forth with a person in the past, baby mom or something like that. But now, that this shit done came out the way it done come out, or came up and came out, it's meant to be that way. Like something was necessarily meant to go down like that for you to see why going back to this person is going to always be an issue. Like this is something that will definitely keep you away, or keep somebody away from you now. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if you do or don't work out with new people moving forward, you'll know you can't go back to this person, this situation, this, yeah. Because something got in the way of a two of cups, in the first place with the right person, or offer with the right person. It's like, choose yourself in a situation. If you can't choose nobody else, if nobody else seems like, is they trustworthy, or they, you see something, worth investing in with any of the options you have, choose yourself. At least you'll be safe doing that. But, at the bottom of the deck, like I said, you got the two of cups. Somebody ending something. Their future actions is to walk away from, whatever this, relationship was that they had with someone. Yeah. Well, they gonna have to let go of you. It may be hard, but something, is necessary. It may not, be as painful, for them to walk away from this past person because of what they know. But it's time for them to let that person go. Like, this person could be dependent on them, emotionally or financially. They, could have some dependency issues. So just, they going toward, a new stage of happiness. And they may have been dealing with that situation with this person for, 2 years now. Let's move on to Pisces. A Pisces film could be significant. Pisces film came out. Reconciliation came out. The makeshift deck. And the other card is, wants your twin flame to choose them over you. So this could be, a Pisces feminine, or, a Pisces masculine could be in a feminine energy. Take it how it resonate. Or a feminine Pisces could be in a masculine energy. But this is, a battle of the fittest. But I feel like you can't compete where you don't compare. If there's a twin flame, they're just going to be twin flames. You know what I'm saying? You got karmic twin flames. You got, divine, twin flames. You know what I'm saying? Just like you got a divine counterpart. Some things, is karmic, soulmates and stuff like that, and twin flames, because they, may have past life, connections to them, where they're in a past life, they may have been that same issue in a past life, and this is that moment in time where they make, better decisions than, what happened in the past with this person, their past life. All right, so somebody could have a past life, with another person, but that familiarity does not mean that that's your person. You know what I'm saying? That's a false person. It's meant to, close out that cycle with that person, regardless of what you trauma bonding and got in common, with that person. It's a past life situation. But this is a reconciliation that somebody wants to have. Six of Cups. Clarify, wants your twin flame. Wants your twin flame to choose them over you. Clarify. Messages for Pisces. Wants your twin flame to choose them over you. Clarify. Show me this person wants to be chosen over the collective. Wants your twin flame to choose them over you. Somebody doing some type of confusion stuff. I don't know if they saying things. Want your twin flame to choose them over you. Like somebody's saying shit that ain't true. Or they saying, you know, stuff to keep a person from looking at another person with passion or something like that. Want your twin flame to choose them over you. Look like the Emperor. Yeah. You got the Hermit, the Page of Swords, and the Fool. So somebody won't, you know, somebody done had to go into Hermit, you know what I'm saying, in order to get the answers they need. Like somebody could be talking to someone, you know, a spiritualist. They could be talking to, you know, somebody else that knows, is aware of twin flames and stuff like that, you know, get knowledge of it, or they could be looking into it and asking questions with this Page of Swords because somebody curious. Somebody curious. They asking a lot of curiosity questions. Could be a Gemini with this Page of Swords. Got Virgo out here with the Hermit and Aquarius out here with the Fool. So somebody want to take this leap of faith. Like somebody want to start anew. They want to, you know, go on this journey. Eight of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Somebody want to take some swift action with this Emperor. Yeah, somebody, you know, could want this person to propose to them and be, you know, they in this pick-me energy with this Page of Cups. Like somebody, you know, Pisces, you could have a message of love, you know, that you want to, you know, give. But I feel like, you know, it's a tower involved. Like somebody going to be shocked. Somebody going to be shocked about your alignment with something or somebody. Because whoever this is, they want to know. Like, whoever this person is that wants, you know, your twin flame to choose them over you. Like, this could be another masculine. It could be a Sagittarius, whoever this is that want to take this swift action. Makes them, you know, could want to travel toward this person. Make some changes, like, you know, try to take some action toward this person. They might, you know, like trying to restore, you know, some type of action and communication, you know, with somebody. Like, it could have been blocked from this person. You know, may not have known, you know, where they moved to, or you may not have known when it was a good time to go toward them or something like that. Take some action, but somebody want to take some swift action in a situation. I don't know if this is somebody, a Sagittarius, that want to come, want you to choose them over, you know, your person. But somebody is a Sagittarius, you know, that wants to take some swift action toward this Emperor. when it comes to this couple love. Like somebody knows, they may know that you're ready to get married. They may know that you're ready, to express some, pent up emotions. I feel like somebody gonna be shocked. There's a Queen of Pentacles that's gonna be shocked. A healer. Somebody gonna be shocked that somebody coming towards them to like express, Pisces. I don't know if this is you because this Page of Cups it is in Pisces, but it's about someone going in hermit. Like somebody's, rethinking, whatever it is that they need to look at or focus on and asking, these questions. This is somebody searching for the truth. Somebody want the truth in a situation. Could be a Virgo. Someone could have Virgo in their chart. But with this Page of Swords, it's like asking a lot of curiosity questions. Like somebody got some ideas that they want to, yeah. Like whoever this is that want to be chosen, it could be a Gemini. With this Page of Swords, like somebody got some curiosity questions. They want to know, what that person doing, where they staying at. You think they going to be able to, you think they going to listen to me. You think they going to be, they're going to push me away. You think they're going to believe me or something like that. Like what they doing now, they with someone. They, do they know where they at? Have they talked? Do they have a person's phone number? Have they seen them yet? That kind of thing. It's like somebody could be asking somebody else's friends, family members even. Like they, associates and stuff, like trying to ask about somebody's whereabouts, whoever this Pisces feminine is, because Pisces feminine came out of the makeshift deck. So it's like somebody, that's a reconciliation out here. The card is out here. It's out here. But I feel like, it's somebody curious as to whether, this Pisces is curious as to, somebody curious Pisces as to, what you're doing, or this is you, want to know what somebody doing, what they up to, who they with, if they talking to somebody, how is it going, do they look better than this person, do they got this, they got that, are they happy with them, did they mention me? Because somebody want to know if somebody is on this journey. Like if they done made it to their final destination. If they done made a decision with the food. Somebody could be, getting divorced. They may have to, walk away from something to go towards something else and start anew. Because it's also a factor of someone, trying to be somebody, can be naive about, what's to come. It's like somebody know there's something coming. They just trying to be, playing, naive about, whether they got that kind of aware, not, whether they got that pool with somebody still. With this fool out here, like somebody playing naive about where they see something at. Like, especially if you know your twin, if you know you, Pisces, listen, if you know you got somebody in your energy that, keeps you thinking about them thinking about you, regardless of the person that sitting around, with, whatever. You could be sitting with the damn Ninja Turtles. If the person, if your twin flame, if you thinking of your twin flame thinking of you. At some point that day, they thinking of you too. Okay? That's without any divination, because I haven't got, that going on right now. Okay? That's just free will that I'm talking about right now. But I feel like, with this hermit, you going within, somebody going within to get the truth about, twin flame situations. You know what I'm saying? Whether you aware of how they work or whether you need to know. You know what I'm saying? Are you asking questions? But somebody going in hermit. They done went in hermit to do it. You know what I'm saying? Whether they talking to outside people or another spiritualist in some way, you know, that's aware of it, or they do twin flame, you know, consultations, readings, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But it's like somebody else is asking curiosity questions about the other person. Like, what are they doing? Whether they know who you talking to, whether they know you, you know, wanting to know who is who. You know what I'm saying? Who should I pick? You know, but I feel like somebody want to know what direction somebody going in. I don't know if they keeping tabs on you with somebody that, you know, y'all got mutual, you know, associates. Like everybody, you know, they may know who you talk to. They may know that person number, how to get in touch with them. They may know somebody number that can get in touch with them. Like, can you tell them to call me, ask them, or asking other people to ask? Like somebody's exchanging messages between another person. So there's a Gemini, you know, exchanging messages. You know what I'm saying? It just leave a sign out that if somebody is talking to another person, they may know who you are. They may know both of you. But it's like somebody trying to get information. Because they want to see if you done got with this, if you done took this leap of faith, if you done decided to go on your spiritual path, you know, if you decided to join your twin flame yet. If you're going to change your mind and go, you know, on this journey. What's this person's future actions in this situation with Pisces? What's the future actions in this situation with Pisces? Eight of Pentacles. Virgo energy. Could be working, you know, right now on yourself, you know. Seven of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Could be focusing on work. But there's a Scorpio that's got some delusional kind of thinking, you know, that they think, you know, how they see something. Somebody really, I don't know if it has to be a Scorpio, but I feel like somebody, Cancer, Pisces, somebody is got a delusional kind of way of thinking, you know, they think something is going to be. Like how they see themselves, you know what I'm saying, with you. Like it's very out there. It's like a fantasy, you know, world for somebody. Like somebody could be into fantasy football. In fantasy football, but yeah. Like something is, you know, to their imagination. Like somebody imagines, you know, you could be imagining or was imagining, you know, something in the past, you know, with multiple options and shit like that being, you know, something that was, you know, the path you wanted to be on, or that's the direction you wanted to go in with something, or was thinking that that was going to lead you to some type of, you know, success with the Chariot. Like you could control the situation. Like I can have all these other options and still, um, keep from being committed or keep from being, you know, on my spiritual journey. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, being with my twin. Like I'm gonna be over here with these people and have all these options and shit like that and just, you know, run the fuck out. But I feel like, you know, that's, you know, not how a twin flame situation works. I feel like, you know, a twin flame, even if, you know, Pisces, you know, focusing on work and working on yourself, you know, in this situation so that you can get this reconciliation or somebody wanting this reconciliation, I feel like A twin flame can always be bumped up to a higher level soulmate, and they can, get somebody that's, on a higher level. They don't have to stay at a twin flame level. You know what I'm saying? They can call judgment on that situation if they see it's like, something that somebody just intentionally, playing around with, and they, allowing themselves to be in this competition, this little battle back and forth, with their op and shit, and their ancestors ain't gonna get it. Your ancestors ain't gonna, especially if it's a divine union. If your ancestors need you to, whip some shit into shape, get your shit together, and bring y'all lineage and shit out of some bullshit and make better choices, then they not gonna support you in some bullshit. They just not, and you gonna be open to whatever karma comes from being with this karmic twin flame, because it's gonna, at that point, it's a karmic cycle anyway. It's gonna be a karmic twin flame that wants to be picked, over the collective. They want you to pick, or you want to be picked over somebody else, or somebody wants you to pick them over somebody else that you want a reconciliation with. Whether it's in a small way or whether it's in a big way. You know what I'm saying? Reconciliation is reconciliation. Rejection is rejection. You know what I'm saying? But it's what you have to continuously make choices in once you, get this reconciliation. However slow or fast it come in. You know what I'm saying? Or develops or happens. But you're going to have to keep making, the best decision possible once you get back in somebody's good graces. Like, you're going to have to make the best decisions possible. You know what I'm saying? Because your ancestors and somebody else's ancestors is not going to, leave the gate open for you no more after that. If they see that you straddling the fence coming back towards somebody else, they're going to block your ass anyway. And it's going to cause your twin flame to not, be in alignment with you. And there's going to be some more confusion. Boom, you back through that, in that roller coaster with them again. Where you feel like, damn, man, I don't even know if they really want to be with me. Yeah. Because it's something out of alignment in your energy that's conflicting, with them. They can feel it. That's your twin. So if they feel like you straddling the fence and you're not sure if you want to be with them, and you being pulled in another direction somewhere else, they going to feel it. And they going to be ready to let that shit go and go on to a higher level soulmate. Somebody that really know what they want, and they out here. Trust me. There's a lot of emperors out here that ain't got a damn soul in their life, in their bed right now, other than their kids. And they looking good too, men and women. So for those twin flame connections that, Pisces and so many, other signs of us is in, like, it don't have to stay that way. There's options out here. You know what I'm saying? There's suitors out here. But they all are in alignment with where you at right now. And if you straddling the fence, the Most High God and your spirit team, they're going to see you bump down to, other people that straddling the fence with people too, that don't know if they really want to let go of them past people in their life too, or them other options. You're going to be in alignment with them people that's got that same shit going on. Or you can just, take your chances, be with somebody that really want to fuck with you. They may not look the same way today or tomorrow, but they fuck with you the long way. And you the only person they going to deal with, man or woman. Who don't want that? You know what I'm saying? I remember I had a associate one time years ago said, you don't get tired of being with the same person year in and year out. I'm like, hell no. Why would I be focused on that? That's like me looking forward to having a fucked up year so I can go and leave their ass alone. Or having a fucked up day with them today so I can make that decision today. And just leave their ass alone. Because I done got bored with them. Or I'm getting tired of, smashing with them every, time. Them be the only person I smash with. I'm like, hell no. If that's who I'm with, then that's who I expect to be doing that with. That's who I want to do it with. I don't give a damn. If they get bored, I just don't see that. I don't know. And then again, I felt like, shit, maybe that's coming from somebody that is used to dealing with different people every 4, 5, 6 months, a different person. That ain't me. I don't want that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say that's what she wanted. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like, if you having issues with being with somebody that damn long, why you want me to be the one had an issue with it? What you need to explain what yours is with that. How you see that. Because who don't want to be laid up with the same person year in and year out? I don't look at that like that. I just look at, I love this person. That's who I see myself with. I don't see myself giving myself to nobody else. As long as I know it's somebody else I can give myself to, that's good enough for me. But at the end of the day, I don't want them people. I want who I chose. You know what I'm saying? I chose this person. Now, if they choose somebody else, then shit, that's it. That's it on that. But if they don't, choose just me, then I gotta let them go. That's it on that. You know what I'm saying? But if you straddling the fence with your twin flame, they gonna just call judgment on you and, counsel with the Most High God, their ancestors, their spirit team, and listen, I need somebody that's on this. I don't want this person anymore. Send my angelic angels in to heal my heart, and prepare me, for what I need to, what's coming, when it comes to me getting over this person so that I can prepare myself for somebody new. Simple as that. It's simple as that. You get them tears out the way, you go through the process. But that process ain't gonna be easy if that's your twin flame. And somebody wanting to be chosen over a twin flame, and they ain't even that person twin flame, they gonna have the hardest time trying to keep that person from any damn body. Especially they twin. Even if they twin don't want their ass back and they over here with the person they chose over their person, it ain't gonna happen. You just gonna be sitting over there and unable to enjoy this person's fullness to their fullness. You're not gonna be able to enjoy them to their capacity, their full capacity, because this person being pulled emotionally towards somebody else, no matter what they tell you. What's the Eight of Pentacles? Messages for Pisces. What's the Eight of Pentacles? Does somebody want a reconciliation? Child cannot make it up. Got the Ace of Cups and the Temperance. I'm telling you, this love is protected. Like there's balance being restored. Like there's, somebody looking at in the Two of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Child cannot make it up. And somebody gonna be in a Ten of Swords, weighed the fuck down. Whoever this Sagittarius is, somebody gonna be weighed down. Like somebody gonna be in a lot of goddamn unnecessary, weighed down by a lot of unnecessary burden that I feel like, at the end of the day is something that if you let something go and let God deal with it, let God, work that out for you, let Aslan work that out for you, you gonna be all right. You gonna be all right. I don't give a damn if somebody gained 20, 30 more pounds. That person there is as good as it's gonna get. You done been through the lies and the this and the that. Because if that person gained 30 pounds, you're gonna gain 20. Why? Because that's your person. Ain't neither one of y'all gonna see each other as unattractive. Ain't neither one of y'all gonna see each other as I don't want this person. You always gonna want that person. You always gonna want them because you know why you want them. You know what's and every year that go by, that's kind of how I look at marriage. Like you always have to remind yourself, even if you don't stand before, someone marrying you in a church, outside, whatever, in your bedroom, wherever you get married at, okay? However you see that person that's just how you see them. You'll see, people that been married, 50, 60, 70 years, you know what I'm saying? And they older than how long they've been married. They older than that. But they went through some things to be there. They had to understand some things to be where they at. asking them like, hey, what's the key to love? What's the key to this? The first thing they're gonna tell you is, you need to be mindful of why you even chose this person, because this gonna be forever your person. That them reasons right there alone gonna be what you always have to go back to. Like, damn, why did I, what did I see in them in the first place? What did I like about them or love about them? What did I fall in love with eventually, with them in the first place? What do I adore about them so much? What do I, hold tight to when it comes to them so much? What do I admire about them that they didn't see in themselves, that they see now? What did they bring out in me, that I didn't know was there? That is what you're going to have to always go back and remember every anniversary, every damn day. Because temptation is a motherfucker. You hear me? There's people out here that'll do spell work and do all type of rituals to have all kind of, Jezebels and, incubus, spirits come towards you to lay with you, to come trip your ass up. You know what I'm saying? Everything that looked like that on the surface ain't what it is. It ain't what it is. And once you done made that mistake, once that temptation done found your ass out, once them skeletons, come out that closet, it's over with. It's why it's best you stick with one person and ride that shit out and go through what you gonna go through with one person. Instead of trying to find, somebody that's gonna put up with your shit to keep you from changing and getting to your better self. Cause them just people that don't give a damn where you at right now. But somebody that would walk away from you because you ain't where they feel like they thought you would be or had the potential to be, that person love you enough to leave you the fuck alone until you can get there. Even if it's not with them. Because they don't want that for you. They don't want you tagging along behind them and you accepting less than. Or you going to accept where you at right now like you can't get better than that. Even with them. Like, hell no. Like, Tammy or David might have wanted you, to stay that way. But I feel like you got the potential to be here. And you need to leave that alone so you can get here. I just want to see you do better. You know what I'm saying? Than that person want to see you right now. Whether you choose me or not. You get what I'm saying? That's what, marriage counseling is about. You know what I'm saying? But you can counsel your damn self. You know why you with somebody. You know what you need to cut out. It's just like dieting. You know what you need to, wean yourself off of. You know how to do that. You eat a little bit less. You do a little less every day. Every hour. Find something to replace that. Transmute that person for somebody at home ain't doing that to you. They may not have the best day with you, but they ain't finna go out here and call up all their baby daddies either. They may not be having the best day with you, but they ain't gonna show up at your job, showing out in the damn parking lot. Or they ain't gonna have all these other people blowing your phone up or, making fake profiles just to tell you, hey, I'm over here with your girl. That woman at home ain't doing that. That woman on the other side of town ain't doing that to you. They ain't got nobody blowing your phone up fucking with you like that. It's some little small things. You know what I'm saying? But you got the Ace of Cups out here and you got the Temperance. Like this person, it's a new love offer. Whether it's a new love opportunity, a new love offer, new love period. Okay? There's a reconciliation here. There's an emotional awakening going on. Like somebody's getting to the truth. They working on themselves. They ascending. Somebody is going on their path. They're going on their journey. With this Temperance, somebody finding better solutions to problems. They not looking at, attacking something, with that South Node mindset. Like, let me go and do what I did with Earl. Let me go do what I did with Lisa. That, I did this for 2 years with Lisa. Shit, it got Lisa right. But, yeah, you want to do something different in this divine connection. Because with this Temperance out here, like, this is about, that calmness in a situation. Allowing the universe to work in your favor. Trusting that whatever God done put, in your life is for your greater good. When all else and everybody else done been moved out the way, shit, and you left thinking and contemplating this person here, then you might need to get your shit together and take that leap of faith and go over there and fix that shit. Because can't nobody sit around in a house with busted pipes and water all over the place and you sitting here knowing you can pull up a YouTube video and fix that damn busted pipe. But you're going to just go put in some more money for another place when it costs less to just fix that busted pipe. So you can have running water. So you can, do what you need to do. Don't go run from something and thinking a new person, or don't go try to be in no pick me and thinking somebody else's, person is going to do for you what a person made for you would do for you. A person sent to you would do for you. But this future action is a new love offer coming in. This is a new love. Like, whether they revamped and renewed or they a brand new person. But somebody choosing a person. So if somebody, wants your twin flame to choose them over you, don't mean that's going to happen. That's just a want. Okay? And that person is not going to choose them over you. Not today, not next year. At some point, this person going to choose you over them. It is. They just is. Okay? Sagittarius. Eyebrow piercing. Workaholic. Somebody is a workaholic to prove himself. And she is so excited to be given this new beginning with her emperor. So for some of you, you got Sagittarius, you got a masculine that's, a workaholic trying to prove themselves. It could be a feminine doing this. Trying to prove themselves to like a family member, a parent or something like that, a mom or dad or something like that. Like somebody works a lot to keep people from thinking that they trying to freeload or, trying to, because I'm getting that off of a parent. Like somebody could be trying to, prove to their family members, their parent, that, I ain't no bum. You know what I'm saying? I might be struggling. They may be living, cost of living done went up for a lot of people. But it's like somebody working their ass off to keep people from looking at them like a burden, like I'm codependent. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm going to come in and be a scrub and some shit like that. No. And this person works a lot to keep, people from thinking that they a bum. You know what I'm saying? They may not, feel like they always around the best people, you know what I'm saying? Or they may have some insecurities about how people see them, and they just work a lot to keep people from seeing them as broke. They may view their success, Sagittarius, somebody viewing their success as, if I stay busy, if I stay at work, if I'm always at work, and people thinking, damn, man, every time I call you at work, are you on your way home? Like, yeah, man, it's like that. It's like somebody want people to know them for being in their bag, but at the end of the day, shit, who you trying to, sway, to believe in you? The only person need to know you, you got good work ethic is you. You don't have to prove that to nobody, but hey, somebody could have an eyebrow piercing, but there's also a feminine, that's excited, about being given this new opportunity to be with their emperor. So somebody could be finally, getting their manifestations, or someone has finally met their person, or they done came into union with their person. But clarify work to prove himself, workaholic to prove himself. Messages for Sagittarius. Clarify workaholic to prove himself. Messages for Sagittarius. 6 of Swords. Queen of Wands at the bottom of the deck. And the Empress. Damn. Somebody could be, whoever this is, this could have been somebody that I don't know why I'm getting somebody walked away from somebody, moved on to calmer waters, Sagittarius. Or you could have moved on to calmer waters, left the past or something like that behind you, when it came to, how somebody may have put you through a lot of, upheaval, you know what I'm saying, with being with them, or that's how you'll know who this person, you may have walked away from this person. It could have been an Aquarius, it could have Aquarius in their chart. Because I'm getting somebody works a lot, or they work a lot, and they may have, just not had time for you. Like, you just moved on. Like, you could have just walked away and just left something alone, because somebody may have always worked, and you may have known this person was working to prove themselves. Like, you could have saw, something dealing with them, or they brought something up that gave you, that insight to why they work so much. But that also may have caused you to walk away. Like, you may have, talked less and less to this person. You may have had, like, talk to them less and less. Like, something, yeah. You could have been trying to figure out, like, why we talk less and less so much. Like, yeah, I be at work, and something, got to be less and less with a person. Yeah, you moved on to calmer waters, like, and you don't went from a Queen of Wands to a Empress. Be celebrating now, getting out more. Somebody could be in the sun. Somebody can like sunflowers, or have a cat, a black cat. Leo can be significant, but I feel like somebody is either like in some type of business venture. Like, somebody could be a business owner, a manager where they work at. It's divine feminine. Like, you could be a manager somewhere, or you have like this authoritative, like, mindset, when it comes to how you see things. You could, be somebody that has the potential of a manager. I know people like talking to you. um Clarify the Six of Swords. Workaholic to prove himself. Workaholic to prove himself. Clarify messages for Sagittarius. Three of Pentacles. Capricorn. Like, somebody wants to collaborate with you. They want to work with you. Um, you may have walked away to, like, focus, on, like, whatever you were doing at the time. Maybe you were in school. Maybe you were getting ready to graduate from something. Getting some type of advancement or promotion or something like that. Or somebody's, working hard to get this promotion. at the time when you walked away or something like that. They may have gotten a promotion, or they worked a lot, to try to, prove that they wanted, that they were a team player too. You know what I'm saying? Like you may have, moved on to further your career. Maybe you were working on yourself, educational wise, and maybe this person, Sagittarius was doing this. Like they may have decided, they were going to, go for this position that was open at work. You know what I'm saying? To instill, that they, putting in the work, on themselves too. But this is somebody they want to possibly collaborate with you, work with you. They see you as like, a team with them. Like they see you as somebody that they can work with. And it's like, they see themselves, focused, making a focused effort, to show you that, they can be a team player. Like they can, go hard too. And it could have caused them a lot of, they may have had a lot of responsibility on them. Like I said, like somebody got a lot of, things that they know they may, their cost of living may be more than where you are. It may be more than where their parents are, something like that. Whatever their responsibilities are, don't have to necessarily all be financial, but I feel like it does carry that kind of weight to a certain extent. But it's like a lot of, circumstances that, this person may feel sometimes they don't have any control over. Like they may not have control over this situation right now, or they don't have it right now. Or they didn't have it then, or something like that when you walked away. Like somebody was trying to balance out a lot of responsibilities. And they could have wanted you to work with them or something like that, or they looked at you as a team player or something like that, or they work a lot, to make sure, whatever it is that they come off, like they want to come off like, somebody that's not a bum, like emotionally or financially codependent. They could have Capricorn in their chart, could be a Capricorn. Show me this person excited about this new beginning with their Emperor. She's so excited to be given this new beginning with her Emperor. Clarify. Messages for Sagittarius. She's so excited to be given this new beginning. Clarify. She's so excited to be given this new beginning with her Emperor. This person. He's so excited to get this. Messages for Sagittarius. Who is this? So excited to be given this new opportunity. Show me this person. Could be a Leo with his sun. Someone can have sun. This happiness with someone, but I feel like somebody's a descendant of Ra, sun god. I don't know if this is this divine feminine or the emperor, but somebody is like high ranking in the spirit realm. And Four of Swords came out in reverse. Libra energy. whatever this new opportunity, this new beginning is like for Sagittarius, there's a Libra that don't like that. Like somebody is, not getting, somebody feathers is ruffled. Like they don't like, that some type of communication have been cut off. And if it ain't that, it's like somebody, need to, rest. Like somebody can't rest because of something. Or I feel like because you laid, something down or letting something go, like somebody's gonna have to, let go of something and let, it be whatever it is, or it's gonna cause some type of burnout. Because if whatever it is, it's keeping somebody up at night. It's keeping, somebody, in their head a lot about stuff. And it's like they getting to the point of like something either causing a lot of migraines, a lot of headaches, or something like that. Like somebody losing a lot of sleep, a lot of rest. And if they don't get it, like something is going to like land somebody like in the hospital. Like, when it comes to their health. Because something is just meant, um to meditate, like, you know what I'm saying, like to think of nothing, you know what I'm saying. If it ain't like I said, just think of a field of green grass. But it's like somebody is working themselves into like a frenzy, like somebody's, like there's, somebody cut off like from being able to see something. It's like somebody manifestations or somebody's, how like if somebody wanted to speak something ill over something, like it's blocked. Like somebody, need to get some rest. Because whatever it is, it's like something that's out of somebody's control. Somebody's happiness is making somebody, with the sun out here, like somebody happiness is driving somebody nuts. This excitement. Somebody is making somebody like batshit crazy. And it could be a past person that feel like, you being excited, or somebody you being excited, or somebody being you seeing somebody excited about somebody coming in. It's like making somebody pissed. And they losing sleep behind this shit too. But the justice right behind this, like somebody getting this. Yeah, this is, a Leo's justice in a situation. Somebody, going through what they going through. Like somebody looking, within, to accept, how something is. With the justice, it's like somebody, having to be, somebody getting karma. This is somebody's karma. Like you being, somebody seeing somebody else, get this offer, doing something they wouldn't do, or doing something they were too busy to do, or somebody, actually, trying to intervene in a situation to get something or cause something. Like somebody ignored a situation, or somebody had, whoever walked away, moved on to calmer waters, you know what I'm saying, put the past behind them. You know, they are workaholic. You know what I'm saying? To prove themselves. But, you know, at the same time, somebody being happy about an emperor coming in and getting this new beginning, or he happy, you know, that they getting this, it's like making somebody's happiness is making another person like wonder. You know what I'm saying? But it's got them in their head. It's yeah. And what I'm getting is somebody that did not have a time before, and somebody walked away and, you know, finished what they started, you know, had some things going on, but they, you know, want this collaboration. Like somebody wants to make a focused effort, you know, to come in and, you know, be a team player. And because of that, it's like, you know, somebody gaining, you know, that new momentum, you know what I'm saying, to like move forward, or the universe is like responding to somebody now, you know, more in their favor than before, when they were focused so much on work. You know what I'm saying? And thinking like, you know, they needed to prove themselves, you know, to be somebody that is equally, you know what I'm saying? And maybe you felt that way, or some Sagittarius, or maybe somebody felt that way regarding you. You know what I'm saying? But it's like somebody realizing that's their karma. Like somebody, you know, getting this happiness and being blessed, like, you know, publicly. Because you got the sun at the bottom of the deck with the justice and the king of the knight of cups. Like somebody want to come in and give you this equal give and take.